So my name's Sam. I've cleaned up litter every day for the past 4.5 years, pretty much. And there's a lot of motivations behind that, but the main one is that the world could be so much more beautiful of a place than it is, especially in today's day and age. There's so much construction, growth, concrete getting poured everywhere, planned urban developments, which in my opinion are probably the ugliest places out there. We're losing sight of what it means to live in a beautiful world. So I'm walking through an undisclosed natural scrub area in southern Florida, which I'm not going to name because I don't think I'm supposed to be here right now. But here I am, and look at this. You have in the background some industrial parks. There's a cell tower behind me somewhere out there. A lot of things that I suppose people would not typically associate mentally with being beautiful, but you have this beautiful little preserve and park. Now, in the county in which I reside, there are 33 or 34 of these very similar parks preserving the Florida scrub pine areas all over the place. Well, some of them are this habitat, some of them are a little bit more oceanic in nature, but ultimately they exist to show what the natural world would be like without all this development. And we just need not only more parks everywhere, because frankly, this is a much better use of the acres than one more warehouse, but what we also need is to integrate the areas we build with nature a whole lot better. So I'm talking more walking paths, more natural bushes, more rooftop gardens. These are the kind of little things that would go a long way in tying modern day humanity in with nature, because so many people are completely divorced from the idea of spending time outside. Especially if you grew up in a city, you may have less appreciation for what nature is, this beautiful habitat which would have been all around us if you were here 100 years ago, home to gopher tortoise, a keystone species, home to various snakes, saw palmettos, these scrub pine trees, which I'll show you. This is one right here above me. But these scrub pine trees, which are all over the place. Until I moved to Florida, I didn't realize that you could find pine cones everywhere, baby. I thought that was an up north thing, but you have these beautiful Florida scrub pines. But frankly, you don't see them if you're just out and about, walking the scene, canvassing the area. You only see them when you're in a park like this. So I don't know how you would go about it, but in the modern world, maybe per square foot of new real estate and industry, you should have some kind of green space, somewhere to attract people, to attract local plants and animals, and kind of preserve that world around us so that we can live in unison with nature, rather than the current discourse, which seems to always pit humans against nature. Well, it's technology, and if we want to save nature, then we need to be reductionist. We need to use less technology. We need to, stop going on, flights. Not that that's necessarily wrong, but the biggest single step we can do is get litter off the ground. Get people more exposed to parks and outdoor areas so that they truly know what it means to appreciate them. Get people in a zone mentally where they are appreciating nature every day, because nature is a part of their lives every day. We can't just completely separate ourselves from nature mentally and then expect to protect and preserve it. That doesn't work. What we need is that unison, that connection on an individual level with these plants. We need people who will walk around these parks and say, damn, that's absolutely beautiful, and I can't believe that I didn't know that this is what it used to look like around here. Humans, at the end of the day, we're a part of nature. So adding more parks, adding more areas that are similar to the ones we evolved in, as I duck under a spider web, but the areas we evolved in thousands and thousands of years ago, is only going to be good and beneficial for us, as well as the world around us. So near you, I don't know if there's many good trails. I don't know where you're at. What I usually do if I want to go find a place like this and seek it out is go on Google Maps and just look for green places, and they'll usually be labeled in the green splotch amongst the city, or you'll see a green little trail, and those little trails can oftentimes be very cool as well. It doesn't need to be some big grandiose thing, but also bike paths, trails, around cities, etc., places that cars should not be able to access, those can be just as beautiful and peaceful as anything. We need more of those around the place as well. What I'm striving for by cleaning a bag of litter every day, by filming these YouTube videos, is spreading the message of a world where we are completely integrated with nature, where humans, we don't need to live reductionist, backwards lives in order to save the planet. That implies that we're not a part of it. We are a part of nature, but we need to go forward, power through in unison with it to achieve the result of a beautiful natural planet everywhere without litter on the ground, etc. We can do this, but the most long-term sustainable way is by doing it as a piece of this beautiful world around us. So if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe. I know it's just me talking to the camera, not some huge cleanup today, but there will be more of those. And actually, speaking of cleanups, I did just find something. But again, not one of those huge cleanups today, just my thoughts on why we do what we do, why I clean up Earth every day, why I advocate for parks, etc. Again, subscribing and liking the video goes a tremendously long way. We're trying to get this channel off the ground, but this is what I've been up to, my full-time mission for the past 4.5 years, and so excited to see where it goes. So if you watched all the way through, thanks so much. Send it to a friend, whatever, someone you think might appreciate it, and I will catch you soon.